Only grown folks allowed. We live, we lit, we laugh. It's love. Laugh here. We have fun here. That's all we bring into the table is love, laughter, and fun. Only grown folks allowed. Anyway, I wasn't really gonna speak on it, but I've been thinking about it like every day since it happened or since it came out about TD Jakes, right? And I want to know what y'all think because I think from from a perspective, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I say coming from poverty-stricken communities where we were raised in the church 95% of the time, right? So we grew up with certain beliefs, and our families for generations grew up with a certain belief. But we have to take a look at the people that stand behind the podium and actually preach to us, because if they not practicing what they preaching, why are they preaching to us? Now with TD Jakes, roll that clip real quick.
Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Now basically TD Jakes is a pastor of not a church in a poverty-stricken neighborhood or a poverty-stricken community. He has a super church, or what they would call a mega church. Now understand TD Jakes' position, because TD Jakes has jets, foreign cars, and we know churches to be nonprofits. So at the end of the day, you got to look at what he doing. Now the position that he's playing is supposed to have good intentions involved, being that you're a pastor, being that you lead for your community, because it's the community that look up to you for guidance sometimes when they spirit lost, to regain their spirit, to lift their head back up, to keep their chin up and their chest out. They need that spoken word sometimes from the pastor of the community, right? So when I say these things, it's probably a lot of people in the world that look up to their pastor for a lot of these things. You see what I'm saying? So being that TD Jakes has a big congregation, he has a mega church. So one thing you do got to factor in that he has a big following. So he does have a lot of people that admire him as a man, look up to his position, look up to the way he carries his position from the perspective they looking at from the church. So I'm not really here to just super down TD Jakes. If I was TD Jakes personally, I would have said y'all got the wrong person. That was really Mr. Brown. That's what I would say, but that was just me. He different. But anyway, TD Jakes being a man of God, you preaching to the public. The public receive the influence that you give out to the public. So being that TD Jakes is being exposed for partying and preaching.
Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Partying and preaching. How is it we excuse people that hold these types of positions? We got to hold people accountable, because at the end of the day, he holds a lot of responsibility for the following he has, because they look up to him for so many things. So being a pastor, you have to stand on the principles of what you practicing and what you preaching to the public that's receiving your word, right? So in this case, without really giving no real explanation, because it's not a real, you can't really justify being at a Diddy party. Like I said, he was better off saying that was Mr. Brown. He could even went as far as to say that was a dressed up Saucy Santana at the Diddy party. He could have said, it's a couple niggas out there that shaped just like TD Jakes. He could have got away with this, right? But we not sitting here really holding this man accountable for the things that he doing wrong when he preaching right. because I'm pretty sure he gonna hold people in his congregation accountable when they do things that surface that they ain't supposed to be doing, because it seems like it goes against the church, if you understand what I'm saying. So in this situation, we not seeing the community that follows TD Jakes hold him responsible. And in return, it's like it just been swept under the rug, right? And I think that's the biggest problem with us, because we sweep a lot of people's, because our admiration and the influence of the people that we looking up to in these positions, we overlook a lot of the issues that's wrong. It's no different than when Cat Williams exposed everybody. Now we looking at everybody and we can physically see that Cat Williams wasn't just throwing dirt on a parade. He was actually telling the truth, and you can actually see it. So with TD Jakes, it's like, okay, he's been exposed. You can actually see certain things. But he's not being held accountable, because when he went to church, nobody really held him accountable. They clapped for him, put some more money in the collection plate. He had a good preaching. He did what he usually do every Sunday. And he need to practice what he preached. How y'all feel about that? Because I know it's people that watch YouTube that do go to church, because you don't have to be perfect to go to church. But what I am going to say is you have to be the perfect version of yourself if you going to sit behind the pulpit, the podium, and preach to your community, though. So me personally, and I want to know what y'all think too in the comments, do y'all think, why do y'all think nobody's really holding TD Jakes accountable? It's like almost like nobody believes what's going on. It's like, how much do you have to be? It's no different than Ted Bundy's first victim, and then 7 victims down the line, everybody cares so much now, when they should have cared just as much after the first victim. So like, how much flaw does TD Jakes have to really have in him before we really question, or we really question what TD Jakes, his position to his community, before we question that? Because I've seen certain things in my community when it comes to pastors that wasn't all the way right. And at the end of the day, I also seen the congregation not hold the pastor accountable. And I think as grown folks, we should all be held accountable for things that we do wrong. Enough about that, but enough about that. Let's get to it. I got some other things I really want to talk about before I get out of here. Man, check this clip out real fast.
Happily married women are doing this?
Have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person
A specific person that they've identified, and in most cases it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend who never made it to the dating category.
Get out of town.
Unfortunately, yes. And the problem is social media has just made it too easy to have such a type of behavior.
Right, so I know you're here to say, though,
yes,
watch out, because this
Absolutely.
is anything but good.
It is. I agree. You know, mindset matters in relationships.
So how y'all feel about this percentage? Because this is a percentage that they saying is accurate. So I want to know y'all, what y'all calculators say, because y'all have been tarnishing the image of men for decades now, saying it was us, it's our problem, we the dogs, we've been this, and we just did everything right. Now this is where the accountability got to come in, because us as men also know an abundance of women that aren't faithful, they're not loyal, whether they in relationships or they in marriages. And I know this personally because I've slept with married women and women in relationships. So for it to be a statistic where it says 70% of women have a backup. Now understand how serious this is and why I'm talking about this, because it's niggas getting kicked out right now for getting caught cheating, but they girl cheating. I myself have messed with women that caught they dude cheating, and I'm consistently messing with they girl. They catch they dude cheating, kick him out the house, but she cheating too. Who wrong when y'all both doing wrong? Who really wrong when both of y'all doing wrong? That's what I want to know from y'all. Leave it in the comments. Who really wrong if y'all both doing wrong? Because if you catch him and then you kick him out, but you've been cheating too, how is that really fair to kick him out when you've been doing the same thing too? Two wrongs don't make a right. And now it leads me to understand a little bit more why relationships today are more short term than they are long term, because in a situation where men still trying to recover from being the damaged individuals we are at times with women, it's making it harder to recover today because women are more aggressive. They carry themselves more like men used to carry themselves when they was purposely making all these mistakes and being cheaters. So how do you become the traditional man for a woman that's no longer traditional? Because most women today, they want to strip, do OnlyFans, they want to show their body on social media. They like the attention, the likes, and the shares from when they post their body. It's like the confidence from they men telling them that they pretty all the time ain't enough. They need 200, 300 other people every day to tell them the same thing. And in the process, you become so glued to the attention that you start entertaining certain people. And then that's when you get a situation where you in a relationship or marriage and you got a nigga on the side. Where the whole time, 10 times out of 10 with women, with a man, they nagging, bitching, fussing, cussing, tearing stuff up, throwing your clothes out the crib because they think you doing something. They ain't caught you yet, but they can feel it and all of this, but they be doing something too. So what I really want to know from women is why that number so high? Why that statistic so high? Because from a standpoint, from where I'm standing, now get it that it's only 100% out of 100%, right? 0% to 100%. So they saying 70% of women got another nigga. So that means it's only 30% out there that's gonna do the right thing. So that means it's way more women that's gonna be what we don't want to be our queen in a relationship, that's gonna end up your queen in a relationship, and you're gonna end up with that girl that's really on the 70%. Because it's gonna be hard to find that 30. You probably out of 10 women, you probably gonna encounter 7 to 8 bogus women before you run into one that you feel like that's the one. Now the tables have turned, because when women thought it was hard to go get a good man, nigga, it's fucked up for us too now. So for the niggas that's outside, and you got to understand that 70% of women now, they cheating. So my advice to you niggas, don't go out there and try to become Prince Charming to no motherfucking broad that's finna go out there and cheat on you, because your chances of you having that one of them bitches that's out there 70% is high, nigga. So continue to go out there and because you probably already got a hoe, and trying to be faithful to that bitch. She gonna cheat on you, and then you gonna be crying. Now you looking at her all sideways because she been blaming you this whole time, like you was a piece of shit the whole time. She was a piece of shit too, so it was 2 dirty diapers in the crib. Now y'all mad because the shitty situation, it got toxic. %70%. Nigga, I went to Walmart and I just was looking. It was like every 10 women I looked at, I was like, 7 of these bitches ain't shit. And if you know Walmart, any Walmart in the world is packed like the mall. So for me to see 10 bitches at a time and then turn around and be like, man, I know for sure 7 of them motherfuckers ain't shit. Oh man, I say this, man, nigga, with the humblest voice I possibly can. My nigga, if you in a relationship and you ain't sure if your bitch is solid, my nigga, put your trench coat on, go get you a 5th. When the buzz kick in, answer them DMs and them texts, button your trench coat on, and nigga, because if you be faithful to that bitch, you gonna regret it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Facebook at Don Dada Jones, and join the live stream this evening at 9:30, between 9:30 and 10. We going live. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be uncut. It's gonna be uncensored. You know how I do it. You're gonna laugh for 2 hours straight. We gonna be lit. It's gonna be turned. It's gonna seem like you in the club and you really gonna be at home. So make sure you don't miss it, man. Only Grown Folks Allowed, hosted by Mafia, man. Listen. This the new platform you come to when you're trying to be grown, when you want to conversate, when you want to laugh, when you want to show love. It's good vibes only over here, only Grown Folks Allowed, man. I'm going to get with y'all this evening. I'm out of here.